Hello, sports fans, and welcome to our new program, Tuesdays on the Edge, the Sports Roundtable Trio Edition. I'm your host, Rowdy, joined as always, my co-host, Coop, in person, and we got big boys still. Listen, boys, check out this merch, boys and girls, right here. We got the sponsor, Tuesday on the Edge, and then we got the OG. Show them the OG, big boy. Yeah, there it is. The merch is now live. Go get some while it lasts. The link
big and sexy sizes out there too. So
oh yeah, for sure.
No excuses.
Yeah. Link will be in the description. It's on our website. You'll be able to find everything. Plenty of different color schemes for you, shirts as well. So go get you some of that. But we're gonna get right into it when it comes with everything it has to do with our Tuesday on the Edge. Who's on the edge this week after a packed sports weekend, boys? But none better than, let's just start with it, big boy. You already know where we're going. You know.
It was a bad day, man. It was a bad day.
It was a bad day for not only the Cowboys, but the Eagles as well, man. It was both. So
which really sucks because if the Cowboys would have done what they needed to do, they'd be in first place.
Yeah.
But, they didn't. All I can chalk it up to is hopefully it's like one of those games that you lose and then you're like, okay, we got to get back on because they got out physical. They got outplayed. They got out everything. Josh Allen had 100 yards, if that. I can't remember. I don't even think he broke 100. When I turned it off, he hadn't. He was at like 78 yards. And, it was bad. They got ran all over.
Well, I have a question for you, big boy. Why did the Cowboys struggle so much away? They do great at home, right? They're almost undefeated at home, and they might be undefeated at home, but they're like 3-3 for away and losing against not great teams like the Cardinals away, teams like that.
Yeah, that Cardinals game I think that was just the beginning of the year deal. What affects me is like the way they got beat, because it doesn't matter if they would have been at home or away or on Pluto, they would have got smoked that game because they got out physical, they got out manned, they got beat up. The only real part where it looked like to me they really got up was when Dak got hit late and Zach Martin went up there and bumped that guy. And so I was like, okay, they're showing like some fight, some dog, and it was bad. They got out physical, man. I don't know. Like, again, hopefully it's one of those losses where like, okay, we can't ever look like that again the rest of the season. And they go on a tear here for the last 3 games. But it was I didn't like it, man. It wasn't good. They're in the playoffs, so that's good. Again, if they would have won, they controlled their own destiny.
Yep.
But now they still don't, so.
No, I think you hit it with just getting, like, obviously if you like lose whatever, but getting beat like that and by a team who's been at their own sake mediocre all year,
not great,
hit or miss as well, to be just beat down by them, even though it's at their home field, to still be beat down by them, it's different than going and getting beat down by like San Fran or like Miami, right? But now Cowboys.
Well, it looked the same as the San Fran game.
Yeah,
like
it did,
in the San Fran game, the difference was that, San Fran put up, 40 or whatever it was. And this game, it was just, they were totally outmanned. And we'll see this week because they got to bounce back because Miami looks like they're hot again. I think Tyreek's going to be back, so
yeah,
we'll see, man.
It was interesting because obviously the defense has been more of the struggle bus when it comes to the passing this year, and then this game, it was just a rushing.
They didn't.
James Cook had himself a day,
and I like James Cook. He's good, but let's get real, man. He's not like a top 5 back. I don't believe in the league.
No,
it's not like Derrick Henry went out there and ran all over us, or Christian McCaffrey. It was, I don't know, he might be I still don't know if he's top 5. It was an ass whooping. So
No doubt, no doubt. Well, we mentioned it. The Eagles, bad one as well. Late loss. I mean, really, man, I don't know what it is over there with what's going on with those guys. I mean, they can't figure it out, and they really haven't been a team. They just have found ways to win this year. We've talked about it, but they have not really shown their dominance like the Cowboys have in those wins, right? I mean, just that offense, Jalen Hurts talked about it, just a commitment from the dudes. And I mean, Jalen Hurts himself, man. I mean, we saw
that was weird.
I sent it to you. Like, he has not been playing good.
No, and that was weird, the commitment thing. Like, that's kind of like calling out your teammates. Hopefully they're fractured and they're fighting in the locker room and hate each other so they don't do good. That's fine with me. But they got the Eagles twice. I mean, they got the Giants twice and the Cardinals. So,
Yeah.
I mean, unless Danny DeVito, does his thing, I don't know if he's going to be back from his concussion and all that stuff. But they got it easier than the Cowboys do.
I don't know. I think Philly's going to be all right despite losing 3 in a row. Your quarterback, he was sick. He flew in to the game by himself. Like he was sick coming in the game, probably not even 75%. We've talked about it. Their schedule is a lot harder than it was last year. I don't know.
But both of them, the Cowboys and the Eagles, are kind of,
Sure.
it's for both of them. It's like, okay, either we're going to go on a heater or we're going to, limp into the playoffs.
And then, like, looking into the playoffs, you got, like, Detroit, like, outside of the 49ers. Don't ignore the 49ers. Detroit at Philly. I'm going to take Philly. Like, the Rams at Philly. I'm going to take Philly. The Bucks at Philly. I'm going to take Philly. So
NFC, I mean, it really is a three-team dominance rate, no doubt. I mean, it's really good. They're going to be trying to go for that 2 seed, so you don't play San Fran until the NFC Championship game. I mean, that's what it's going to come down to. You don't want to be that 4 seed, that's for sure. And obviously, being that 2 or 3 seed is a lot better than having to play San Fran.
San Fran, it seems like they're like getting healthy. They've had a lot of injuries, and McCaffrey and Brown, and Debo, looks like they're all really ready to roll. So.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it when the Bills were struggling, right? Josh Allen, how he was just getting no hate whatsoever, and like if it was Dak per se, how
they still are. To me, they still are struggling though. It's not like they're just game beaters. Like they did beat the Cowboys, but again, they look great in the run game. But
yeah, well, and I saw it today on Twitter, and we were talking about it. It's Jalen Hurts passing stats the last 3 games. Okay, 638 yards passing. Whatever, averaging just over 215 a game, 210 a game. 0 passing touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and only a 71 passer rating for his last 3 games. I mean, it's just
his only touchdowns come from the tush push. That's it.
Yeah, I saw this right before we got on. 26% of his fantasy points this year have been from the tush push.
Really?
Yes.
Hey, that's one play they can run for sure. But did you see how they were talking about Kelsey putting the ball forward?
Yeah, they called a false start on it too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Well, that was the big matchup. Obviously, man, it only intensifies from here on out for those teams battling for those top spots in the playoffs. But someone who's, as like we like to call it, on the edge on this Tuesday on the Edge episode, and arguably they've been on it all year. Coach has been on it all year, and that's the Falcons, man. I mean, 9-7 to the Carolina.
To the freaking Panthers, bro.
9-7 to the Panthers, and now you're benching your quarterback again for the second time, going back to Tyler Heineke. Like, man,
I like Tyler though. I like Heineke, man. I want him to come in and ball, But this season.
I'm gonna say this as unbiased as possible. Okay, if you give the ball to Bijan Robinson 7 times in a game, You don't deserve to win. He's your best player on the team. Best player on the team, you're giving the ball 7 times.
And they don't use Pitts either, you know?
No.
They don't utilize any other weapons. I mean, Drake London, 2 catches for 24 yards. Like Desmond Ritter was still like he was 12 for 20, whatever, 152 yards, averaging 7 yards a pass, touchdown, and interception. No sacks. Like it's not wasn't crazy. Like he's definitely had way worse games, right?
Yeah.
But you're running the ball for 31 attempts and you're going 52 yards. You're running the ball 5 times with Cordell Patterson, and you run this ball 7 times with your top 10 draft pick Bijan Robinson. You think about
maybe he's hurt or something, and we just don't know. I don't know, but I don't get it either. You know,
5 carries for -2 yards from Cordell Patterson. 5 carries for -2 yards from Desmond Ritter.
How have they won 6 games? Like, freaking the Panthers are so bad. How do you lose to the freaking Panthers?
Well, the rest of their conference is pretty weak, also. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the Saints are trying to figure something out too. They're kind of moving on, but
I think the Bucks are still in first there, though. You know,
they're
they
all
have
kind of like right around.
Hey, Baker was cooking last week. He was perfect. Yeah.
And Derek Carr came out and played too after he was getting hate all week also. Yeah. So it's just how the NFL is, man, this year. Like you've got those top dog. There's not as many top dog teams as there had been, right? Obviously you got the 49ers, but like your Chiefs, your Bills, your Cowboys, your Eagles, like they're all losing games.
To me, it's like, San Francisco and everybody else.
Yeah,
really.
I mean, Dolphins losing games. Like, I mean, it's just a weird year in the NFL when it comes to those top teams. And then you got the mediocre teams that, like the Bucks, right? They either go out and win a good ass game or they just go and get destroyed, right? Yeah. I mean, and you know who's getting it done? Who everyone was riding off, and hey, they may have a chance to win their division still, and that's the Cincinnati Bengals, boys. Old Jake Browning, and they're rolling. You got the Steelers in your division who are losing now, right? Who else is in their division? The Raiders, and then not the Raiders.
No,
it's Steelers, Bengals, Ravens.
So
they could get a wild card. The Ravens, they probably got that locked for their division, but.
Well, the Ravens are looking good. I take that, you know, in the AFC, to me, they are. The Browns are 9-5, and the Bengals are 8-6.
Yeah, which the Browns have lost a couple in a row. Obviously, Joe Flacco's still on the helm there, but hey, the Bengals, they're finding ways to win, man, and that's proven that their coach has been a good coach, and not just has been Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, right?
They're gonna come. It's gonna come down probably to who gets in. The last game of the season, the Browns play at the Bengals.
Yeah. Well, the Bengals got a big game this weekend, which we'll talk about more of the matchups on Friday's episode of the Sports Roundtable Trio Edition. Is they got the Steelers at the Steelers.
And Browns got the Texans.
Yeah.
There's some big games this weekend that can really start to kind of shape that playoff picture. 3 more weeks to go before the playoff picture is finalized.
I mean, the Bengals go to the Steelers, to the Chiefs, and then they're at home against the Browns. It's a hard last 3 games there.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough 3 games, and hey, if they can figure out ways to keep winning, man. I mean, like they did last week against the subpar Vikings team, right, in overtime, but still figured out a way to win. Like, props to you.
They're not winning the Super Bowl. I mean, let's get real about that. You know, I mean, you never know, but I doubt. You know, just want to make that tournament for sure. But I do like I like the Ravens. Lamar, you know, I like Lamar, man, and he's starting to really turn it on. In their defense, Kyle Van Noy, I love him too, man. He's stepping up and really bringing something. You know, he's sitting on his couch at the beginning of the year, so
yeah,
that could be a comeback player of the year. But
no doubt.
They're going to give it to Hamilton.
Looking at another team we talked about last week, and I asked y'all, and was if the Lions were back to the old Lions, and they're kind of one of those teams, like you mentioned, been one of those mediocre teams, right? Either looking like the brand new Lions, as people like to call them, or back to the old Lion ways. And this week, man, they
whooped up on old Russell.
Old Russ and the Broncos were not cooking.
Russ wasn't cooking. He was burning that food. Yeah, no doubt.
He was burning that food. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's some very burnt food, and that was beat down.
So they got the Vikings, the Cowboys, and then the Vikings again. So
I mean, Golf went
that's
off. Golf had 5 touchdowns for 278 yards in that game. I mean,
I think Jameer Gibbs had 2 TDs.
yeah. Oh, I mean, the running game was ridiculous. Jameer and Montgomery, 100 yards and then 85 yards. 185 yards between the two backs.
Yeah, the offense put up some yards to that looked like Denver's old defense at the start of the season, right? Giving up 70 points in a game. That's what that looked like. But that was a big loss for Denver. They're now 7-7, right? They were kind of creeping up. Everyone thought maybe, they're going to take over the Chiefs, the struggling Chiefs. But now the Chiefs go and get a win in New England, 10-point win, and then you lose just like that.
who do the Chiefs still have? Let me see. Chiefs got Raiders, Bengals, and Chargers. So Chargers might quit on the season, be making
The Chargers
plans.
are freaking awful.
Yeah, but they got so much talent over there.
It's
man.
ridiculous how much talent they have. How do you have so much talent and suck so bad?
Intern coach, you know how it always rolls with those intern
Yeah,
coaches
they might
game one, man.
Exactly.
You know how it goes with those coaches.
And the
I know,
Raiders,
like, your quarterback sucks now, but you still have those weapons. Like, you can't tell me you can't go put up some points with those weapons.
and they play the Raiders on Christmas, so never know. Max Crosby might have 3 sacks. Might have to put a little parlay in on Crosby there.
Yeah.
Hold on, let's just talk about my boy Case Keenum getting the win for the H-Town, baby. The real Oilers, baby. We want the jerseys back. We want it all back, baby. We deserve to have those jerseys right there. H-Town repping.
Well, shouldn't have sold the team, man. Shouldn't have moved the team. Should have built them a new stadium or whatever they wanted. No, they did. They pulled that one out. I watched
a big win, man. That's that's a big win for the division there.
He has to. Is D'Amico Ryan's coach of the year?
Bro, you would hope.
I mean, he's 8 games, won 8 games.
I feel like,
and I would have thought they won 3 or 4 if they got lucky this year. I mean, seriously.
I mean, I think it's a lock if they sneak into the wild card, right? Because probably it's looking like, unless they can catch the Jags, that the Jags are going to win that division.
Yeah.
Unless some crazy stuff happens these last 3 weeks.
And the Colts are ahead.
Colts
just won again. So
yeah.
I mean, if they can sneak into the playoffs, there's no way he does not get Coach of the Year. I mean, who else is out there that's deserving of it, right? I mean, besides your teams that they were supposed to do what they're supposed to do, right? That's the whole reason why apparently Sark didn't win the Big 12 Coach of the Year, and Mike Gundy did, because
we know why Sark didn't win it. That's a different story.
But that's what Texas was supposed to do, quote unquote, and Oklahoma State wasn't at the end of the day. So that's their perception of why. So it should be, and if it goes same way for the NFL, I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, it's not Bill Belichick, that's for sure.
When he takes over the Chargers and wins the Super Bowl next year, it might be.
No, stop it.
Hey, man.
Stop it.
He's probably getting that boat. He's getting that boat shined up to move across country,
Right.
No doubt. Well, before that was some NFL recap, right? On the edge. Big matchups this weekend. Tune in to Friday's episodes. We'll break those down for you. We mentioned it last week. We'll be with Kobe in person for Kobe's locks of the weekend. I'm sure that's going to be very interesting.
Is he going to be on the whole show?
I don't know. I haven't decided what I want him to do yet.
Got to deal with that Joker the whole time.
Just for the podcast's sake, for our fans watching. I don't know if they.
He's good though, man. I love Kobe.
With that being said, going and looking at the college ranks as a whole, bowl games really about to start getting going within the next week. Bowl game tonight, UTSA gets going. Not so much this weekend, but really next week from today, around this time is when these bowl games get going, which we can start talking some college football again. But National Signing Day is tomorrow, and it's big, right? We look at it across just the nation as a whole. Dudes are starting to commit. High school guys more so say it's their signing day because transfer portal guys just don't. I mean, I don't know really how long they had till they can commit. I guess until spring or until you report for the spring in January. I guess.
Is there a dead period for that? I guess probably before. Yeah, I don't know.
It's like the end to enter the portal is like January 2nd, but I don't know if there's like a commitment date per se. But signing day, a lot of dudes committing, flipping commitments. Guys on flip watch when it comes to UT's sake. We talked about on Friday's episode, 5-star safety from McKinney. That was committed to Florida, flipped, massive flip for the Horns, right?
Yeah.
And then in the same day, they also get their 2 biggest transfer portal targets to commit, Matthew Golden and Andrew McCuba back at the safety help as well. I mean, a big weekend. And then yesterday, closed the day off with a 2025 tight end commit from Georgia. Massive dude, just a freak of an athlete. Looks like Jatavion Sanders. It's the second highest ranked tight end commit in the last 10 years, I think, besides Sanders to go to the Horns. So
yeah, who else have they really had since?
Trying to find that void for him.
No.
And then today, kind of out of the blue, another commitment, 2025 D lineman from Florida.
Tackle, yeah.
Yeah, big boy.
Yeah.
So 3 commitments in the class, all from outside the state of Texas right now. Which obviously at 2025 will get going after this first signing day. But Sark and the staff are cooking right now. And
Sark always has a flip. Like who's going to be a big flip on signing day that nobody.
Yep, stuff will start coming out tonight, right? Like people are kind of predicting him to flip the A&M linebacker, Anthony Smith.
From Jasper.
Yeah, he made it in for a visit this weekend, and they're saying if he made it for a visit, it's almost automatic flip. He hasn't announced anything yet. He's still supposed to be signing tomorrow, so that could be kind of one. And then Dominic McKinley, we've talked about him.
But he's not going till January. Or
he wasn't supposed to sign. They came out and said he wasn't going to sign till February, but then it came out yesterday that they were thinking about signing tomorrow.
Really?
And if he signed tomorrow, it would not be A&M. So
I know I was listening to the radio, and that kid from Jasper, like that's just an A&M town. Yeah. And like there's guys that played in the league and at A&M that are from Jasper. I can't remember the name, but they have a stranglehold on that. That's down there by Beaumont and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
They just always had a stranglehold on that. And they said if Sark could flip him, like supposedly he wants to come to Texas, but like what is everybody going to act like in town type deal. So that would be big, man.
I could see it, definitely see it happening. And then obviously when it comes to other high school guys, like you said, I mean, that's just how Sark and Lamar around this time period. Like people always, they start off slow and they really develop those relationships and use it at the end of just flip dudes last minute. So we'll see what happens tonight, tomorrow. Who knows? Because I think signing day technically goes on for like 2 or 3 days. So just
big state championship this past weekend. Congrats, Duncanville.
Oh yeah.
DeSoto.
Getting that get back.
P&G. Yeah.
P&G, the only team from not the Dallas area to win a state title this whole year. Insane.
That Liberty Hill lost to the game before, by the way.
Bro, DeSoto is freaking good. But like, you could take any team from Florida, Cali, and Georgia, and Texas, and DeSoto will go whoop that ass.
And it's a public school. It's not like IMG and the one in California.
It's a public school.
Yeah.
And they split kids with Duncanville and South Oak Cliff. That's a 6-mile radius between those 3 schools.
Yeah.
All 3 of those schools are.
It's ridiculous.
Put all those dudes up to one team. I mean, even just 2 teams.
That's a college team. That if you take all their all-stars, I mean, good God. And that kid from DeSoto, man, that's a junior.
The offensive lineman.
Yeah, he needs to drop about 50 pounds, but he is huge, man. They say he's 375 or 380. That boy's 4 bills plus.
I like
He's
it.
4 spins. I guarantee it. But
You know who that crystal ball
Respect.
prediction's in for him?
Texas.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a big dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's some dude that would pancake Coop just real quick.
on those
Pancake
screenplays.
all 3 of us.
Yeah, pancake all of us. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Me? Like,
Maybe y'all too. I got 1 play left.
Coop
I'm gonna
has a
tear
history
both
of
my
getting pancaked on the
hamstrings.
football field.
Yeah. I'll tear both my hammies and probably pop my shoulders, but I got 1 play, coach. Put me in.
No, I got pancake once, and I learned my lesson on the screenplays. I'm running away. That's
Yeah.
it.
Hit the deck.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about it. The transfer portal, looking at it. Texas still got another edge target, right? That they're looking favorable for. Trey Moore could pop anytime. That'd be a good big one to kind of close out until some more dudes enter the portal after bowl games. I guess you could say a new wave of guys comes in almost. Because I feel like Trey Moore is kind of that last one from this first wave that they're really pushing for. But we talked about the QB dominoes, man, and they've been starting to fall. And talk about Oregon, right?
Oregon.
I mean, they
Nebraska,
got Gabriel. Yeah, Nebraska. I mean, but looking at Oregon, Dylan Gabriel, and then they go get Dante Moore, 2 top 3 quarterbacks in the portal, wherever you look at it, ranking wise. Like they promised the old Dante Moore they got him sold to watch Dylan Gabriel play for.
I was about to say, if it's more like, did he say he was okay with sitting a year or what?
That was the biggest thing. They'd always kind of said right when he entered the portal that he wouldn't be opposed to going somewhere where he could really go learn from a good offense and a good quarterback playing in front of him. And we'll see. I mean, Dylan Gabriel can be a mentor to Jackson Arnold and Dante Moore. So talk about if he wants to get into the coaching world after this, both those dudes go off after he leaves, he may have a ride right into a quarterback room somewhere, be a coach. So
Yeah.
But then you got USC closing up their spot, taking K-State's
Will Howard.
Which I didn't.
I don't know.
I don't know.
And then they got their 5-star redshirt freshman jump out the boat.
Yeah, I was never big on Will. I don't know. I don't really see him fitting at USC. I don't know. It's kind of weird fit for me. But
and talk about dudes entering the portal. It's USC, and it's a lot of their defensive dudes. Like they signed some of the top defensive dudes that USC's ever had, and Lincoln Riley's ever had in the last couple of cycles, and all their top dudes are entering the portal. So I don't. Yeah, it could be a scary year for USC in the Big Ten, playing the big boy ball up there.
Lincoln Riley's probably like,
should I be losing that defense? You can't be losing those defensive dudes going into that Big Ten multi-bowl up there, man.
Especially when your defense was that bad last year.
That defense would get, oh my gosh, they would get destroyed.
And Will Howard, Big Ten. Will Howard, small quarterback, skinny quarterback. It only takes one little hit for him, and they don't got anyone else behind him now. But they are talking, going back to the flip watch, quarterback from, can't remember what high school in Texas, but DJ Lagway is his name. He's a top 3 quarterback, 5-star, been committed to Florida for a long time. They're still kind of expecting him to sign with Florida tomorrow, but they're saying that since they're freshmen over at USC enter the portal at Lincoln's trying to put that push down on them to get him to flip too. So,
which to me is wild because Lincoln Riley, he has the name, and like USC, they have, NIL opportunities in Los Angeles are like endless. Yeah. So, like, it seems like they're not jumping on this bandwagon. You got Nebraska stealing, 5 stars everywhere, and they haven't been relevant, since USC has. So it's interesting to me. You think if you played offense, you'd go to USC in a heartbeat,
Yep. Right now it's kind of transferring over. They're going to Oregon, right? They're going to Ole Miss.
They're killing the portal. Yeah,
they just
but defense as well, right? Signing some big time D linemen. They're now favored for Walter Nolan from A&M as well.
That's big.
That's big.
And they just gave Lane Kiffin a contract. So
that contract.
Did you see that contract extension 2028?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
I don't know what the dollar amount was, but I saw it's through 2028 now.
Yeah.
You know that's coming for Sark after this playoff.
Oh, Sark's gonna get paid.
What do you think it's going to be?
Like amount of money.
Both.
Well, I think he's gonna be with the highest paid. So what is that now? 9 million, 8 million?
Yeah, probably 8 to 10.
You know, 8 to 10 million. And I think they're gonna give him 5, 6 year, at least 5 year extension. You know, I mean,
Yeah. So I don't know how much he has left on it now. I think when he signed it was a 4-year, 5-year deal.
yeah.
So he's probably got two years left. So yeah, it's coming after the playoffs, no matter what happens.
Well, especially if he wins. I mean, or if he at least it makes, you know, like, look,
Well,
this
not
is,
only will he
I'm,
get that bonus, but
yeah. And he's been killing, recruiting too. So like they can look at it and say, we believe in your path, you know. So
yeah, I mean you're about to flip one of the top linebackers in the nation. Hard to come by, especially in the state of Texas for a top linebacker, right? You're always going after 3-star dudes, and you kind of develop them like the Jalen Fords of the world.
And you got Ant Hill last year.
Yeah, and now you got this dude, 4-star, high 4-star, one of the top in the nation, and you're gonna go flip him without even having a linebacker coach. They don't even have a linebacker coach, guys. They're gonna go flip him from A&M's whatever, but from any other school that's trying to get him as well. I mean, they're seeing.
Still want to see LaFau, man. I'm so excited to see that kid play.
Yeah, he's gonna be good. He's going to be good. Speaking of the Horns, we got a couple more minutes before we get out of here. But basketball team really starting to hit their stride, right? Dylan DeSue's back. Glad he's back, man. Welcome back, Dylan, to the squad. He's going to really bring in that force. He came in and played against LSU this past week off the bench. Put up like 18 points, I think, in limited time. Had that offense rolling for the first time in a while. Defense still struggled, but like Eric and everyone that we've had on said, once they just get jailed with that whole team in there, get everyone healthy, come Big 12 play, they're going to be fun to watch. And with Dylan DeSue back now, so Caden's getting fully healthy, they're going to figure out those rotations. But Dylan DeSue's that big piece, I think, that was really missing.
They got another big man down there to really play big man ball, you know.
Texas always finds a way to get them big boys.
They do.
They've had a pass of the big boys that have gone to the league, you know.
Usually just one and done.
One and done. Yeah, exactly. So
forget about Chris Mims.
Yeah.
Westlake.
True.
Yeah.
Sitting on the bench for the Celtics, making $8-10 million a year, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Well, as we're recording this will come out obviously later tonight at 7 p.m. Texas A&M wide receiver Evan Stewart has entered the transfer portal.
Did he? Wow.
Yep.
Right now.
Man, I really thought he was playing the game, man. I thought
he was just waiting for all these schools.
Pay him.
Yeah. He was just waiting for all these schools to take their wide receivers, make the wide receiver portal be empty, and then he was going to drop his name in there. And he just did it.
That's a big loss there.
I mean, obviously Texas is going to be in that. Bama's been one of the most talked about for him. But Texas is going hard after him. Even though they got Golden, they always said from day one that everyone was reporting they're probably going to take 2 from the portal, and you kind of had that feeling when they kind of let off those other dudes from Burt, from Purdue, and South Carolina, dude, that they knew, and they wanted to make sure that they're ready to go for old Evan Stewart, and he's in now.
Yeah.
That's a talent. That's a talent right there.
That's a legit
talent. That is a legit talent, and seeing him go to Alabama would hurt really anywhere else. But you would think everyone's going to jockey for him, right? Everyone's going to throw their money at him. Oregon's going to throw some Nike money at him. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to Alabama or Texas for him. I'll tell you that right now. And hopefully it's for the good guys in the end. Hopefully so.
That'd be wild, man. You might have somebody jump in the transfer portal if he comes, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, because he may only have one more year left, but
yeah, definitely 1 year. I mean, he'll leave. I mean, and they still say there's a big name out there that's going to stay that we haven't really, the UT people, the insiders are saying there's a name that you're going to be very surprised that stays. And
No,
to me, that's AD or J.
yeah, I can see that. I mean, they're saying it's gonna be a couple, and I feel like it's gonna be maybe some dudes on that defensive side too. I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, to me, Alfred Collins and Tank, if they both stay, I think that would really, really help. And they can both stay because they got the COVID year and stuff like that. Tank, when he played, he did pretty good, man. And AC was, he was starting to seems like the end of the season really bring it on. And I'd love to see him stay, but I wouldn't blame him if he leaves. He's been here a minute. So.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's gonna be interesting, but that's all the time for this Tuesdays on the Edge. Make sure
Check out that merch, baby.
Links in the bio. Just
Clean
today. All the different color schemes, long sleeve, short sleeve. We got the youth too for guys like Cooper that want to wear youth shirts. So
get that extra sleeve.
Yeah, right.
We hope you enjoyed the Tuesday on the Edge, our version of Overreaction Monday. Tune in Friday at now 9 a.m. No more noon. 9 a.m. Friday at 9 a.m. for the Sports Roundtable Trio Edition with Kobe. Join us. Like, subscribe if you're listening on Spotify. We appreciate it. But what else I got to do, big boy?
Ring that bell.
Ring that bell. Ring that bell. But we'll see y'all Friday.
Peace.
Peace.